Well, losing weight is often all about fat grams, carbs, and calories, right? Well, not according to the author of a new diet book. Dr. Robert Young says the secret to permanent weight loss comes down to acid and the pH balance in your blood. He describes his revolutionary plan in his new book, The pH Miracle for Weight Loss. In today's health eating segment, Tamara is learning more with Dr. Young now. Tamara?
That's right, David. Thank you so much. And Dr. Young is a nutritionist and a microbiologist. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Tamara. It's wonderful to be here this morning.
Well, you know, your diet is very interesting, I have to say, and it's all based on our pH balance. So what does pH mean for us?
Well, pH is a measurement between acid and alkaline. And when you're eating alkaline foods, you're going to be healthy and fit. When you're eating acidic foods, you're going to be sick, tired, and fat.
Okay, now you said, how do we test our pH?
Well, really easy. pH paper, you just put it in your mouth, and the color should come out green.
Okay, can I test mine?
You bet. Here's one for you.
Okay, and I just put this in my mouth, and then based on the color,
it came out green.
So that's good.
That's good. That's exactly the way you want to be, because the more alkaline you are, the less chance you're going to acquire any sickness or disease or become overweight.
When you say the less alkaline we are, so that means in the foods that we eat in our bodies, take in our bodies every day.
Exactly,
okay.
and the liquids that we drink too as well.
Oh, really?
So not only what we eat, but what we drink, and also our thoughts can make us acidic too as well.
All right, well, you know, you've got a list of foods that we should avoid, and we have some that we should eat. Let's get to the alkaline foods that we have on the set, so explain those.
Well, we've got sprouts, of course. This is buckwheat sprouts, which is a seed. Quinoa. We've got English cucumber. We have, of course, broccoli, and God's butter, which is avocados. And most folks feel or think that avocados would be fattening.
Right.
But in reality, it's not fat that makes you fat. It's acid that makes you fat. So you can eat all the avocados you want. Tomatoes, lettuce, greens, even grapefruits, which are low sugar, are actually alkalizing to our bodies, where high sugar fruits can be acidifying.
So how does the acid affect our bodies and our weight?
Well, you see, if acid is not eliminated through the elimination organs, either through urination or perspiration or respiration, it actually gets parked on your hips, your thighs, your buttocks, your breast, your waistline. So the body has to eliminate these acids. These are waste products from energy production, and if they're not eliminated, they get parked. So fat becomes a protective mechanism to protect us against excess acidity.
That's interesting, and because some of the foods, as you just said, with the grapefruit and even with the tomato, in your mind, when you think foods that are acidic, those are the foods that kind of come to mind.
But they're actually not.
Wrong. But we're wrong when we
because
say
of the low sugar. It's the high sugar fruits that actually make us more acidic, where the body then starts packing on the fat to park the excess acid.
Now, some of the foods that you say we should avoid because they're high in acidity are meat, pork, chicken, peanuts, corn, alcohol, coffee, most fruits, eggs, dairy products, yeast, and sugar. That is everything I guarantee you everyone watching this segment likes to eat. That's a big list.
Well, but on the other side, the alkaline food is just as big, and it's just as rewarding, and it's just as satisfying. That's why the pH Miracle for Weight Loss has over 100 recipes, delicious recipes that are easy, and you can get immediate results. If you need to gain weight, you can gain weight on this program. If you need to lose weight, you can lose weight as well.
Now, this sounds like a vegan or a vegetarian diet with some of the things that have been eliminated, particularly when you talk about meat, pork, and chicken, and dairy products, and you leave us with a lot of veggies.
But it's not. You can have fish. For example, some of the best fish are like sea bass, tuna, trout, and even salmon. But you want to have the portions where 60 to 80% of your food is more of these types of foods.
Which are more vegetables and more protein from like the nuts there.
So salad becomes the main course, or veggies like broccoli, and then you have a side of meat.
Oh, so it's the complete opposite of the Atkins, really.
Exactly.
Okay. And you also say that we can add things to our water and what we do daily, and these are pH drops that we should add to our water.
These are the pH drops, and you can actually see if we drop it right on here, you can actually see it changes the color to a dark blue, which is highly alkaline. All you do is put some of the pH drops in the water to begin alkalizing that water.
Now, you brought some pictures in of some of the people who've been on your diet, and we have a picture of a person who lost, how many pounds do you think we can lose on this diet?
You can lose an average of a ½ pound minimum a day. So take how much weight you want to lose, times it by 2, and that's how many days it's going to take for you to lose that weight.
Now, is this formula anything new, or is this just something that through your studies that you just feel works?
over the last 25 years, I've been studying the basis of alkalinity within our bodies and how it helps us be healthier and more energetic and help to keep the pounds off too as well.
Thank you so much,
and
Doctor.
the list is there. Thank you very much.
All right, David, back over to you.
We've been talking about it all morning long. In fact, we've been talking about this book since we got it. It's amazing. Dr. Young is here with tips on weight loss.
That's right. He's going to tell us why he blames acidic food for weight gain, and he has some thoughts on chickens. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Back with Robert Young.
Mark, you're watching.
All right, according to a new book, people don't get fat, they get acidic. Well, that's the premise of the pH Miracle for Weight Loss. This book is amazing. It instructs readers about how to balance your body chemistry to achieve your ideal weight. Author Dr. Robert Young is here with more on this book. All right, we've been talking so much about this book. What do you mean acidic?
Well, when you eat certain foods, those foods break down to either an alkaline ash or an acidic ash. And if they break down to an acid ash, if that ash is not eliminated, it ends up getting parked on your hips, your thighs, your buttocks, your waistline, or even in your breast. And if you're eating more alkaline, and of course more alkaline foods like the green foods and the good healthy fats, then of course you're not going to be packing on the pounds.
Okay, so we've been hearing a lot about, reduced fat diets or protein diets and that sort of thing. This seems to me that it has more to do with your own pH. Now, balancing that out, how do you find your pH and how do you know which foods are not good for you?
Well, first off, balancing the pH is simple as using a pH paper, kind of like measuring the pH of your swimming pool or your spa.
Oh, really?
We keep track of that, and yet we don't keep track of our internal fluids. But the pH should be alkaline, slightly alkaline, like the urine or saliva should be alkaline at about 7.2. And when we're in an alkaline state, this is when we enjoy the highest quality of energy, vitality, health, and we flat out just don't get fat.
And the reason for that is?
Is because fat is protective. Fat is saving our lives. We need to learn to understand that fat is our friend.
Really?
It's protective. And when we're over-acidic and we can't eliminate these acids through either urination, defecation, perspiration, or respiration, then it gets packed on our hips, our thighs, and our buttocks. So the fat is literally saving our lives. And when we understand that and appreciate that fat is our friend, then we can then begin to alkalize our body through good, healthy foods like the green foods like spinach and parsley and cucumber, broccoli, one of the most important foods like avocado. Now you would think, wait a minute, avocados are fattening?
Yeah.
Not so.
Caloric, yeah.
Acid is fattening. Avocados are actually alkalizing and thus make you lean and energetic. Well, in foods we choose, I've given a list in the book of those foods which are the most acidic.
Oh, okay. So there's an acid level for each piece of food that we eat.
Exactly, and everything that we drink too as well. That's going to contribute to an over-acidic state. And when we become over-acidic, that's when the body goes into preservation mode, and that's when the body starts holding on to fat to park our excess acids.
Now, I've heard some diets, they want you to get into the state of ketosis so that you're actually burning all the excess fat. Is that good?
Well, I really don't think so. It's a matter of providing the body energy and through electron-rich foods, because our bodies are electric. We're kind of like that energy battery, the alkaline battery. And of course, alkaline batteries have energy, and when we put electron-rich foods into our bodies, we're energetic.
So this list of foods is in the book, and all this other stuff about the pH balancing is also in here. I find it very fascinating because there's things in here that I've not heard before, especially the body chemistry. And your point about the pool water is dead on, because you're right, we don't even know what's inside our bodies, yet we know what's in the pool.
Well, if you've ever had a fish bowl, the fish is only as healthy as the water in which it swims in. And so the human cell is only as healthy as the water it swims in. We're a body of fluids, body of water, and it has to be pH balanced at 7.365. And if it's not, the body goes into preservation mode. It tries to protect itself, and one of those ways is by packing on the pounds. Dr.
Robert Young, you can meet him today at Borders at noon in Pasadena on South Lake Avenue. Great book. Thanks so much for coming. It's great to have you here.